Hello, IK here. Welcome to e-commerce part 8. Every working day, I start with example, start Apache, start MySQL. And now I'm ready to start my application, React Redux application. At first, server. Node server.js. Here it is. Server is running on port 5000. Now, React Redux application named e-retail admin. Here it is a start. npm start. Categories, update, route 1, route 1000, update, nothing happened, router 1. But now, when I refresh, okay, let's get here, refresh, look at router 1 after refresh. Router 1000. It means, but there is no error. It means that we have not re-rendering category list component after our action update. But we have re-rendering category list after refresh. It means category list is here. There is two paths to re-rendering. One path to re-rendering category list and every list in my front-end application is by a use effect. It is after initial rendering. After initial rendering category list, we have event category was mounted. That event call use effect, and use effect call, if this logic is satisfied, call dispatch fetch category stank. And that fetch category stank call application, express application in server and express but fetch categories calls express calls contact with MySQL database, and it is a request. In fetch categories, we have request, HTTP request. Here it is concretely get, and every request there is a response, and in response we have a category, all categories from table categories. But next re-rendering cannot go by use effect, because use effect would be every time would be called, but there is no effect because status will not be idle. Status equal idle only before initial rendering. Only before initial rendering, and initial rendering is possible. In dependency here, we said that every changes of status, we will have use effect. Again, component was mounted, event exists in every re-rendering. Not exist only in initial rendering, but all other, after that re-rendering, there is a start with component was mounted, because component, it is true, component was mounted. And every re-rendering every re-rendering has that event was mounting, because component was mounting. Initial rendering is reason is important for mounting. It is mounting, and after that, event was mounting exists in every re-rendering, and every changes of status here dependency will activate you with activate use effect. Was mounting use activate use effect, and also changes of status every time when changes status. But status, there is a logic here, must be true, and it is true only for initial rendering. After that, we have status succeeded or loading, but no idle. And okay, after initial rendering, we have was mounting call use effect, and after use effect, we have all list. We get all list, category list on the screen. But when we update a list or add a new list or delete list, it is not go through use effect because status changes, but never be idle. And who initiate re-rendering after if not was mounted, component was mounted. Initiate re-rendering, initiate this, two kind of initiate re-rendering. Use effect, and second is this logic. Variable content declare here, and status equal loading, it is operator ternary with question mark and column. It is if else in imperative programming. In declarative programming, we have a ternary new operator with the question. Status, if status equal loading, and it is always when any tank activate, at first we have pending type of action. It is waiting what will be, and status equal loading in that moment. Status equal loading, we will see if status equal loading, we see loading this text on the screen. If else status equal succeeded, now it means fulfilled, and we have all what we need, our action, the result of our action is action, concretely, and in that moment, if status is equal succeeded, we have content. Let's Let's get started here. It means status equals succeeded, question mark means that would be execute this. It means would be execute content equal categories and would be activated categories array and map. And it is new categories. It is updated categories, delete one, updated one category after update, after delete, after add a new category. And that new category is a result of Redux and the result of use selector who connect state in Redux with our state here. Here it is. Categories. Look at categories. Use selector. Use selector is hook, is function, what connect our state here, categories with the state category in Redux, in reducer in Redux, and changes categories, and this logic initiate re-rendering category excerpt, and after that it is child of category list, and after initiate that changes of categories changed by use selector immediately activate re-rendering. Re-rendering cannot go through use effect because status is succeeded, but re-rendering goes through this logic. This logic activate content equal categories. Categories execute this categories.map, and that map parameter arrow function re-rendered child of category list. Child is category excerpt, rendering so many times how many category there is in array categories. And after that, finished re-rendering category list. At first, rendering category child, category list child, after that list, category list, and we see complete list. Now, I don't see list after my action update. It means that my action update is request go to Express and MySQL, update record in table categories, response that updates, and stop there. Don't go to add case. Okay, let's get see. A category list. Update category form. Update category form. Here it is. Click update. We activate this function. Let's get see. Here is the form. Button update. Type submit. Update. When we push update, type submit, that button type submit, it means that it is event of form, not of button, but of form. And look at what happened when form submit. Here it is. Event is on submit. It is event. And submit is type of button. And on event, on submit is event. And that event on submit form call on update categorically function. Here is a reference of that function. Reference of that function. Let's get see on update categorically. Dispatch in body of that function, we dispatch update category, and we dispatch complete ID category, category ID, department ID, name, description, all fields. Update category, we now must go to reducer, it is slice, category slice, categories slice, here it is. Update category, it is here at first tank function. Update category, here it is. It is all okay. All is okay. Because this console, I have all fields here. It means response data is coming here. Response coming here. It means that coming in before request. And here is a request. Look at ID. In request, we have ID. This ID it is of category ID. Here is department ID, name, description. It is in request, and it is go to database. Because after a refresh, we see changes, we see update. It means in database, we have updated. It means that from here, our software work excellent to Express. Look at in Express. Here is in Express categories put would be called request, response, ID, coming with the address. Here it is. All is excellent. And department ID's name, description, it is a request body. And it go to database, but don't go back because after query, and here it is status response. Here is a response, status 200. Here is ID, department ID, name, description. All what go to database we have in request. And we don't need a result. We don't need a result. Here it is. And because of that, result is dim here. There is no exist result. It means that database don't send back that fields, that data, because it is existing in request side. And response equal request, if all is okay. And this is all okay because I see it after refresh, but don't happen re-rendering after update. It means that back to slice, it is category slice. It means that there is a back here, but that return, look at return response data, must go to add case update category. Add case update category. It is must go to reducer, and we must change data in reducer, and that changes of state. Look at here. That changes of state. Here it is. We change all the department ID, name, description, and after that we must have re-rendering, but it is not happen. It is not happen. This application with the commit update don't work or similar, you will find on the below of this video, and you can intervene and experiment with this error and try to find where is error. I didn't find, ChatGPT also didn't find, and I continue to find this error. But this error, of course, but this error, every error is excellent for learning. For learning, that goes to understanding, because when error, we control, but we learn intensive learning, and step by step in learning and finding where is possible, we understand what happened, how go our action from button update, go to slice, to tank function call in Express with request, send request to Express application on server, know the server, and Express proceed that request to database, MySQL database response, altogether response about error in communication, status 200, etc., but not response updated fields, because request side there is fields and use it to respond to slice, to reducer, and to tank function, and tank function return it to add case, to reducer. Add case, extra reducer, received all that data and change state. Change state means use a selector in category list, changes categories, status, and error, and immediately it is the reason that use selector activate mechanism for re-rendering. That re-rendering category list go through logic content depending about status value, and if status exceeded, we have re-rendering child, execution of map of that new categories array, and in that map, how many category in categories array, so many re-rendering child excerpt categories, and after that finished rendering, re-rendering category list, and we see categories on the screen, and we see updated categories. But now I don't see updated categories, but after refresh, I see it. It means changes in MySQL is happen, but after that, I will control, I have not here, I have control here before request, and I know that request is okay. Request is okay because in database, our request go to database, database updated. But after that, I don't know that I must repeat this console log. I must repeat this console log. Here it is. Console log response data. I have it. Console log response data. I will see what I have in 45. I like to see it in Chrome. Here it is. I will update router now. Router router 1 instead of 1000. Router 1 instead of 1000. But after update, router 1000 after refresh. But look at here in right pane of Windows. 45, here it is, 45. Category slice 45. It means ID 2, department ID 1, name router 11, description W. It means router now is 11, but here is 1000. When I refresh, I will have router 11. It means here that all changes updated here, category slice 45. Here is 45. Here it is. It is below. It is. It means that return response data exists. It is okay. All coming back, and go to add case, extra reducer. And in extra reducer, don't change this state, but state changes only after a refresh, because after a refresh, we have initial rendering by use effect, and that initial rendering get all categories from database, and we see updated router 11. Now refresh, and router 11. Okay. Thank you for watching this video.